I'm Matt McCourt. You're watching U.S. Metal TV, and tonight I finally found the lost footage of the entire Lemmy interview from 1999 with Paul Kearney. Paul Kearney and I covered the show at the Roseland Theater in 1999. I forget who else was playing on the bill. Oh, Hatebreed. What am I talking about? And they used to be on Victory Records, and I did a lot.
We're Hatebreed. You're watching U.S. Metal.
What's up? This is Jimi
and Sean
from Hatebreed, and you're watching U.S. Metal.
Okay, cool.
So I've just put up, small portions, but I decided to put the entire interview up on this podcast. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube, the video part, and you can find the link to my page on YouTube at usmetal.com. It was an amazing day. I loved it. I loved Lemmy. Mickey D was great. The bass tech was great. The sound guy was awesome. It's amazing how loud this band can be, and your ears don't hurt. You can feel it hit your body. That's how I felt when I saw them in 1981 at the San Francisco Old Waldorf, a Bill Graham club, when Mick Zane and I went down to see him. Well, we were down visiting Kip Dorn, and we went to the Old Waldorf to see G.E. Smith and Squeeze on July 4th, and saw a little cardboard sign that somebody ripped the top of a box off and said, Motörhead Monday. So I said, we got to come back. Tom Roberts, better known as Pig Champion from the band Poison Idea, had turned me on to Motörhead in 1978, along with the Mentors, and we were both punk rock guys. But this was awesome. So getting to actually sit down with Lemmy and videotape the show, I did it twice, 99 and 2000. And, here's the interview in full. It's a full half hour. Thank you for checking it out. And remember to go to usmetal.com for all of your rare heavy metal needs, because I'm flourishing in obscurity. Roll 'em.
This moment or your rowdiest moment on stage? Yeah, I'm sure you have plenty. One that stands out.
I got a blowjob once on stage. That was a high spot, you know what I mean? Because usually they come up and like mime it and go away again. This one actually got it out and did it. It was pretty good. I had my guitar higher in those days. Or at least I suddenly did anyway,
But just the roadies let her go right on stage and do it, I guess.
Let her? I'd like to see him try and stop it.
Oh, okay.
I would have killed him, never mind.
Okay. Certain fans get by. Okay.
Women always get an dressing room, man. It's just guys we have to, in fact,
Exactly. This question I wasn't going to ask you, but it just came to mind, is like you traveled on the first Aussie tour when Randy Rhoads was around.
Yeah.
Did you guys get to meet and do things? And
Oh yeah, I played asteroids all the way across America with Randy Rhoads. I beat him every fucking time. He was not very good at that. He was a nice guy, small.
Just had his anniversary of his death, I believe, and then also...
I really don't care about that. He became a better guitarist after he died, same as Buddy Holly, and like Ricky Nelson. I mean, it doesn't matter, he was a good guitar player, but he wasn't great. I mean, he wasn't earth-shattering, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you guys...
He wasn't exactly Hendrix.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, you used to work for him, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm
telling you about Hendrix, man. I mean, I watched Randy Rhoads on the side of the stage, and I watched Hendrix. It was a whole different fucking ball game, I mean, they were not comparable in any way, I mean, Hendrix changed the way everybody played.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Exactly, yeah.
He changed Eric Clapton's way of playing. Yeah.
I interviewed Tommy Chung recently, and he said that Jimi Hendrix came up in Canada in the 60s, and they had a topless club. He turned into a comedy club, and they jammed there, and Jimmy says, I'd like to jam with you. He goes, I only got one guitar, so he says, I'll play bass. Right. So he's got Jimi playing bass, and it's just something that he possesses, and he just nostalgia that...
Yeah, he could play guitar upside down anyway. He could play it anyway.
He's the best.
It's unbelievable.
I love that.
He was the best you'll ever see. I mean, you can't really hear it on records. You can hear what he's doing, and it's great, but you can't understand it till you see him filming him live. And even then, you weren't there. You know what I mean? To see that guy do a double somersault and come up still playing. I mean,
Yeah.
he was good, man. And the chicks would go nuts for him.
When Captain Sensible was here, the guy in the Damned, he was telling a lot of stories about him because he goes way back, and he said that a lot of people were very racist and prejudiced against Jimmy coming to England. Like they couldn't believe that he was like so
Well, it
good all of
just
a
goes to show
sudden.
you that the captain wasn't fucking there, you know. Because they weren't, you know.
Everybody really loved him and was really
Yeah,
supportive.
I mean, England, he couldn't, actually, if he'd have played crap from his second album onwards, he couldn't have gone wrong in England. We loved him, you know. And that was where he made his name, you know.
Pete?
Did you ever get a chance to go in the studio, play with him, or jam with him?
I played with him once on a rehearsal where Noel never showed up, you know. I just played bass for about a half-hour blues jam. I mean, no singing, just playing, you know. Kind of boring from a bass player's point of view, but that's why I had Noel doing it, you know.
Exactly.
I was there at all the sessions for Axis Boulder's Love.
Wow, that must have been great. That was
Yeah, it
history. What'd you grow up listening to? Did you have any favorites? The
The Beatles were the best,
Beatles.
no contest.
It's about the same. I just turned 50. You're going to be in the same age area, so we
53,
both. Did you listen to any surf music? Did that get over there? Any,
Yeah, Dick Dale was good. Early Beach Boys was good.
How about like the old stuff, like even like the Frankie Avalon or the
Well, he wasn't
Beach Blanket
surf
stuff?
music. He was beach blanket, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Well, all that stuff came out.
Dee Dee Diner was good, but after that, I
Yeah.
thought he went downhill rather swiftly, you know.
Yeah, everything changed. I mean, music went. You know, when Beach Boys came out, and then
When
surf
the
went-
Bobbies came in, you know, Bobby this and Bobby that, like Jerry Lee Lewis says, there's Bobby this and Bobby that.
Well, I was lucky to see all the early English stuff over in Lowell, Massachusetts, in Commodore Ballroom. I saw the original Fleetwood Mac 10 years after. I
Right.
saw Rod Stewart when he had Brown here.
Right? The original Fleetwood Mac was great, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Peter Green.
yeah. He just recently came through town. He's got a few problems from past.
A few problems.
Yeah,
That's being kind.
yeah. I don't want to slam him, but he's great. He's
I'm not
slow
sure.
in reacting, but he's
You
fantastic.
can't slam him
musician.
because it's not his fault, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I remember I had a girlfriend who used to work at the Speakeasy, and her friend was Patty Bygraves, who was married to Dave, the drummer from Chicken Shack, right?
Yeah, I remember Chicken
And
Shack.
that whole circuit, that English blues thing, you know, Fleetwood Mac and everybody.
Albert Lee.
Albert Lee, Chicken Shack, and all them people. And I remember seeing Peter Green dressed in this white outfit, you know, like fucking Buddha, you know. And he was saying, man, everything will come to you if you just, you know, own and all this, you know. I thought, he's headed for a breakdown right there, you know. And that was then. This is like 68 I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he went straight down the hole. I mean, he used to hang out at this rehearsal place that Motörhead started rehearsing at when he first started, and he was just gone. Stand by the window looking for things, you know.
He's
Just nuts.
He just recently played a show upstairs where the other band is playing tonight, and it took him a while to get things together to sing, but you never know until he spoke later. And he was very slow moving, but I imagine that comes from either just
He's on a lot of medication, he must be.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he attacked his accountant with a gun for sending him money. Send me any more money and I'll kill you, you son of a bitch.
he was a great artist.
Yeah, he was. It's a shame.
You know, and that we could go on about Sid Barrett too. I'm sure he
Oh,
would.
yeah, the whole thing, yeah. Well, on the tour I did with Hendrix of England, we had The Move with the original five
Remember The
members.
Move.
Hendrix, Pink Floyd with Sid Barrett, his last tour, Amen Corner, The Nice with Davey O'List, and the band that became the Grease band, Heir Apparent.
Exactly.
That was a good tour, eh, for 7 and 6.
Exactly. Well, I saw something kind of like that. I saw The Crazy World of Arthur Brown back with Super Session with Al Cooper. And Crazy World of Arthur Brown, I was wondering if he was all there because he would pop through hoops and...
We just seen him.
Did you?
He came to see a show about 6 months ago. Yeah, he was actually all right.
He was ahead of his time, I thought. He had all the Ozzy makeup on earlier before
Well,
Ozzy.
I
even-
mean, Arthur was messed up, you know, then. I mean, we all were. I mean, everybody was tripping. Everybody. That was the time, you know. That's what happened. We were all just
when
doing
the Beatles
acid.
went through that change, and is when England went through that change pretty much.
I mean,
Everybody started
if we changed
experimenting
the
with...
Beatles to caftans, and what could it do to you, right?
Everybody, everybody started experimenting with psychedelics, I heard, in those days, and Sid went overboard. But
Well, it weren't that bad, you know. It's better than it is now with heroin.
you guys, I'm sure, had your own version of Woodstock and Haight-Ashbury over in England, kind of.
Yeah, we had the Isle of Wight festivals, yeah,
Yeah.
69 and 70. Bob
Yep.
Dylan headlined the first one, and Hendrix headlined the second. He was terrible, Hendrix. I mean, I'd never seen him so bad. I was sitting on the hillside watching him in the middle of the night by the time he went on, and I just thought, fuck you, you're done. You know, and he was dead, he was fled.
All those deaths. It's so sad, especially
Well,
to Jim
maybe
Morrison over
a
there.
lot of the time it isn't as sad as if they would have carried on. You know? 'Cause
What would they be doing today?
Well, Jim Morrison wouldn't be doing anything, would he? He'd be out of his mind by now.
Yeah.
He was pretty well close to the bone then. Hendrix would be playing shit because he was in the end anyway. You know?
Like I said, in those days, I was lucky enough to see some early concerts. Probably one of the most rarest ones was the Yardbird lineup with Jimmy Page playing rhythm and back
that's
on
a
guitar.
good
Yeah, had to wear a tie and a coat in Salem, New Hampshire to get in to see this, and it was
Right.
great. And who knows that this guy would have a super band later? You know, Jimmy playing rhythm on. But you could tell like stars were being born there when you saw
Right.
this stuff. And of course, you know, I saw the early Fleetwood Mac lineup. What else? You know, Fleetwood Mac when they had all guys that people don't know. You know.
People
And
don't even remember that.
the early Kinks.
Yeah.
It was great. The original Kinks, all that stuff played
Dave and
there.
Ray.
And then we had that big wave of Freddie and the Dreamers and Herman's Hermits and all that.
I know.
What
yeah.
happened there?
Well, they were novelty in England, you know. They
Yeah.
became huge stars there, but they were just novelty acts in England. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So Lemmy, do you have any favorite new '90s bands? And
Skunk and Nancy.
Skunk and Nancy. I
Excellent.
think I remember her. One of the girls kind of looked like out of Bow Wow Wow.
One of the
Mohawk. Oh, was there a girl singer?
There's only one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard of them. I don't think I've seen them live, but I heard they're a great band.
Well, you messed up then.
Yeah.
You're being old and elitist. You should
Yeah.
go see them. They're fucking marvelous.
They're still playing then.
They're still playing.
They're out. They're doing albums.
It's
and
only their
stuff.
third album right now.
Oh, okay.
You should,
Just
get
have-
you should get their albums. They're really worth buying. They're
Yeah.
full price, even over the price.
Did they open for you guys anytime?
No.
Okay.
No, we went to see them in France when we were touring. We were in the same city one night, so we went after our show and saw them. They're fucking excellent. And their albums are great. She's got a voice that would like lay you straight out on the floor. I mean, I'm hard to impress, man. I've seen the Beatles live, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
I'm hard to fucking impress. I saw like Gene Vincent live and Eddie Cochran live
Yeah.
and Buddy Holly live, you know.
Yeah. I saw the Beatles live too in Boston Garden. I was 14th row, but I couldn't hear shit. And I was real mad
Yeah,
because,
but it's the event, you know.
but just to see them
Yeah.
in front of me was just like
Just to
a
be able to
electric.
say I was there
Oh, yeah,
and the
yeah.
Beatles were in real living colour in front of me. You know?
Exactly. I went to the original Woodstock. I told my dad I was going to the drive-in for the weekend, and I
Right.
turned back the speedometer. That's a good trick because if nobody knows how to do that,
Those
what
are
you-
the days, huh?
yeah, what you do is like, hey, Dad, I'm just going to drive and I might camp overnight if I drink, you know, and I was going to Woodstock. And I told him that 20 years later, and he said, I knew it.
I knew that.
I knew that.
I saw you in the movies, in the newsroom.
I saw you.
You were that one with the joint guy.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but we went prepared. We went like with food and everything. We ended up giving away a lot of food to people that just went like homeless hippies, you know. But it was just sharing and sharing alike. And then when you tried to go buy hot dogs, people were either selling them for like 50 cents full and cooked.
Right.
And otherwise, people were selling raw hot dogs for $3 a piece. They would
Right.
scam
And
anybody.
you cook them, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we couldn't even, you know.
I mean,
Sometimes
there
we
was
did.
250,000 people, though, for 3 days and no fights.
Oh yeah, it was
I mean, that's
unbelievable.
unbelievable now. So,
Yeah.
you know, people can't grasp it.
Yeah, now they go to school with guns.
Yeah.
To get the people to
What's wrong
feed,
with that?
yeah, to get the people to feed them, they were dropping oranges and light, you know,
And people are
from the
like
air.
treating that thing, kids go to school with a gun, as a social problem. It's
Oh,
not.
man.
It's insane, right? That is when you've lost control completely of your children,
Well,
you know?
the Chili Peppers are coming here next week, and they're doing a show where, to get into their show, nobody can get in except high school kids, and they have to write an essay on how you can stop violence.
Right.
I think that's great that the band's taking issue to that.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to do any good, do you?
Would you trust an
It's
18-year-old
just
with
paying lip service to it. You know, if
Yeah.
you're 18, what would you think of that? You'd think, yeah, fuck, you know.
Well, we were brought up in different age spans. I wouldn't want to be 18 today, you know, with
No,
all this
neither would
age
I.
shit and all this. You
Still
know.
less 17.
We used to have any kind of disease, you could rub it away, or it's kind of,
Or you could go and get an injection and that would get rid of it.
yeah, or the cotton swabby job or whatever.
I mean, I tried the rhythm method, but apparently I couldn't keep a beat because I got touched.
What I was going to say is, so as far as '90s bands go, the new music, gothic music, all this stuff that's breaking different directions. Do you think
Breaking what
it's
different directions?
well? You get the gothic music that's been big lately. You know, of
What
course,
have
it
they
was,
got? I've seen it.
yeah,
Most of it twice.
yeah.
You know, I
so
mean,
it's been done before.
I've been in rock and roll a long time, and all I found out that there's nothing new since like Buddy Holly and Eddie Cochran. There's nothing new.
So it's been recreated.
Yeah, it's just it comes around again, and they dress it up,
Okay.
or they dress different, or they have different hair, you know. But it's the same music. It's rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
It's unbeatable. You can't stop it. And why should you want to? You know?
Alice Cooper did a bio the other day on VH1, and I was hoping he would say like, yeah, these so-called bands like Marilyn Manson. But,
I know, yeah.
no, but he never did. He just was.
They
having-
think they're decadent.
oh yeah, they just.
They're trying too
Right.
hard, you know. That's
Yeah.
what they're doing.
But they're making it. So. That's
yeah,
stupid.
well, that's fair enough. You know, we're not supposed to understand it because we're gone now.
Yeah.
We're the old people now.
Oh, I try not to think that way. We're mid-age.
Yeah, but you have to get used to it
Yeah.
because it's true. Because if you're 18, you wouldn't fucking listen to anybody who was
I would.
30, never mind 50.
I wouldn't give up my lifestyle of growing up with all that great music.
Oh, me either, you know, but you can't expect people to understand it
No.
or be sympathetic to it or anything.
Some of them-
Why
some of-
should they?
yeah.
I mean, they say they are, but they can't grasp what we did. They don't understand it like on a ground roots level thing. They don't know how it felt, and you can't communicate how it felt.
Yeah.
And why should you want to anyway? You know, it's their time
Yeah.
now. They can have their time.
Some younger friends went to Woodstock, and the Woodstock too, and they said that, yeah, it was great. I could see how you felt with the mud and all the drugs
No,
and
they
everything. I
didn't.
says, no, it was a whole different world. I mean,
Right.
it was like...
People were different.
Yeah. At 7 in the morning or when Hendrix came out, see, they were running bands back to back as a schedule.
Right.
So you couldn't get any sleep. If you did, like, they put folk singers on all night, but music ran constantly, maybe an hour or two break. And then, like, Airplane or somebody come on, like, Who came on at 1:32 in the morning, and people never believe that. They did that late? I says, yeah. And Hendrix came
But
on.
where
like,
are you going to go?
Yeah.
You know, if you're in the middle of a 250,000 people, you're not going to go
Sure.
for a piss. You're going to piss down your leg, right? I mean, that's it. Save
People
your
did
place.
pretty much relieve themselves around, because it was all clay mud, it was wet, you couldn't tell, and some people were gross and some people use the outhouses, but
Just
by that
tread it
time,
in, right?
by the time the outhouses, you had to swim to those because of the red clay mud. Not only that, at that time, it was so mellow that you could walk 50 to 75 feet from the front of the stage and not get squashed in those days.
And you could also have your place ready for you when you come back.
Exactly. People laying out blankets and sinking into the mud, but there was no like shoving and pushing. So that's how that changes in those days. And kids can't, what do you mean? You could really get that close to the stage and see Hendrix? Yeah. So that was great, and I thought that was nice. I already asked you what you grew up listening to, I guess. And what was the first band you ever saw in concert?
Billy Fury.
Billy Fury.
That's a name that nobody knows anymore. He was the English rock and roll star. He was the English Elvis kind of.
Another early guy, too, was the guy that used to sing for The Who a little, the big heavyset guy with the big pompadour. I can't remember his name now.
The Who?
No, he just sang on the reunion tour with Billy Idol and those people.
Oh,
Gary
yeah.
Glitter.
Oh, Gary.
Yeah. Gary was a big-time guy. I guess like the early Elton John type thing. Liberace, maybe, of England.
Gary was kind of another novelty act, you know.
He was.
Yeah.
But he was
A couple of hit singles.
he was bigger in England than here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he never meant a thing here. I don't think.
Yeah.
Cliff Richard, the same thing, you know.
You have a new album.
Yeah, we do.
That's
Everything
nice.
louder than everyone else. I found it in the truck stop last night. Good. Good deal.
Great. Let's see. Everybody wants me to ask this question, especially the publisher. What's your favorite beer? Let me see if I can guess.
But you can't.
Guinness? No. Okay.
Not even close. Too long ago. And it's not German.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not a real. I remember just Guinness and like,
Foster's.
not Foster's.
Foster's ain't bad, but it's not-
Heineken?
No,
No, that's German. Okay.
no, it's Dutch.
Oh, that's Dutch. Okay.
My favourite beer is a beer you can't get anywhere but England. It's called Special Brew. Carlsberg made it for Winston Churchill after the war. It's a special brew.
Okay.
And that's the only place you can buy it is England, so
Really?
don't look forward to getting any soon. Because, I mean, they couldn't make it here. It's 9% proof. So they wouldn't be allowed to even brew it in America.
So it's like, what percentage of alcohol is it?
9%.
Woo! Oh, those will kick your ass.
We tried Oregon's beers.
You like the microbrews?
No,
Don't like them at all?
it tastes like shit. I mean, if you're going to make beer, why not make it palatable? You know, I mean, it's ever so strong. Yeah, it tastes like cough medicine, you know. I mean, I don't see the point, really.
A word on Thin Lizzy, guys. You were around in those days, too. Phil was a guy ahead of his time. That's sad that he passed on.
Yeah.
And Gary's kind of carrying, well, Gary was never original, but Gary Moore is a nice guy. A friend of mine, by the way, would have liked to said Heidi. I didn't get a hold of him. He might be out of town, but he sang with Gary Moore in G-Force.
Oh, yeah.
Had a rough time. Yeah, his name was Willie
Right.
Dafford. Yeah. He, I'm trying to get a hold of him, see if he'll come down to the show because he knows, he's met you, he knows you guys from before. He toured opening for Whitesnake with the
Right.
G-Force and way
Which
back
can't
then.
have been easy.
I think so, yeah. And he was telling me great stories about Sharon's father.
Don Hard and I.
Oh, yeah, he says.
Hanging Steve Marriott
Maybe.
out of the balcony by one leg.
He says they took life insurance out on the band right before they went on. He says, you guys better put on a good tour or else. So they did.
They're fucking dead, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure you got stories about
Well, that's
that.
where Sharon learned all her craft from.
But he did do a lot with a lot of bands. I guess he introduced...
Yeah, they're all the ones that said, we were robbed afterwards.
Did you ever know Peter Grant, who lives up on the
Yeah.
Measure? He was a rough and tough guy.
Fuck yeah.
but he got the job done.
I mean, Zeppelin were assholes, actually, you know, in the early days. They thought they were gangsters, you know. They used to walk around with these fedoras on and shit, you know, being like tough guys. And they beat a guy to death at the San Francisco Fillmore. Stagehand, he told Peter Grant's kid to fuck off because the kid was fucking with the ropes and shit. And he said, fuck off, kid. And John Bender and, what's his name?
That was on a report on a Led Zeppelin show. They almost beat the security guy to death. They took him back and bloodied him.
They did beat him to death.
They did beat him.
Yeah,
Wow.
he died. Stagehand.
That's because they messed with the kid.
Yeah, because he told the kid to fuck off because he was messing with the ropes that were holding things up. Like you would, right?
Yeah.
Fuck off, kid, you know, that's all he did.
Recently, there was like a stories about that where they did stuff like where they there was a thrash show where one of the guys of a new band, I can't remember what it was, like Pennywise or one of those skateboard bands, was jumping into the crowd, and sometimes security forgets they come from the crowd as a singer, and the guy tried to come back on stage being the lead singer, and the guy tackled him and tried to throw him back in the crowd, and this guy knocked out the security.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And there was no charges pressed because he was throwing the lead singer back out in the audience. He didn't know. He said he looked like every other fan. He thought he was just running back up to jump and attack the band.
Well, he
but
should
it was
have
the
noticed
singer.
who was on stage behind him, actually.
Exactly. He should have watched him jump out and kept an eye on him. That's his job.
That's his gig, yeah.
I worked security for, in fact, I worked security and took photos of your shows when you opened at the Paramount Theater way back. That was a great
Way
show.
back. That
Yeah,
was
you had the
Lizzy
big,
tour, wasn't
you had the big bomber hanging on stage. The big,
That was Crocus and
Crocus,
Motor-
that's right,
Ma-
on top of the bill on that.
No, but I think
Crocus
yours-
and Fist,
and it was
Yeah.
like the first week you had,
Brian Robertson.
yeah.
yeah. But you opened for Ozzy one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had the bomber on stage, didn't you, when you first opened, or was that the
Not with
headline?
Ozzy. That was
yeah,
the one
that
where
was
we
the
took the
headline.
bill,
Yeah. I remember that.
That's like in San Francisco at the Waldorf.
The old Waldorf.
Yeah. That was a...
That was a good show, yeah. I got that on tape somewhere. That's a bootleg now.
Yeah. So, hey, if you could do a studio project with any musicians, anybody at all, you know, just say you wanted to do a good, best of super session type thing, who would you pick and why? You know?
Jeff Beck, because he's Jeff Beck.
Yeah. He's been the most underrated musician in a long time, I
Sure
think.
has. He played a lot of shit too, you know, it's his own fault. All that jazz stuff is all very well if you call us Santana, you know, but I think these people vanish up their own asshole, you know. I mean, what he was good at was like shapes of things, you know. It was his best moment for me. And Mr. You're a Better Man Than I, you know, I mean, he was a wonderful rock guitar player. And then he goes twiddling off into that jazz thing, same as Santana, you know, who was a magic blues guitar player. And they just wasted themselves, as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure the jazz community got more out of them than me, you know, but there you go.
Do you like the new stuff, like Satriani and Vi? Well, it's
No,
not
I've got no
too new,
time
but-
for all this twiddly stuff, you know, freaking guitar players showing off. I like songs, you know, not showcases for the guitarist, you know. I don't care how much spandex they wear, you know. I like I like the Beatles, you know, they were my big pet influence, and they wrote fucking songs. I mean, whoever was top of the heap at the moment they wrote that song, at least it was still a song that they all joined in, you know.
Yeah.
They weren't just like waiting for the solo, you know, which is bullshit for
So,
me.
were you like me? Don't you wish the bullet kind of went 2 more inches to the right when they shot John?
Yeah, right, there you go. What was I going to say? Yeah, Jeff Beck. On drums, I can't think of anybody better than Mickey, you know, out of my band.
Yeah,
I had my
yeah.
band in it anyway.
Mickey's from King Diamond's band, isn't he?
Yeah,
Way back?
he was with Dokken too.
That's right. But I think his claim to fame or something was first with Merciful Fate or with King Diamond. I remember
Diamond,
seeing him there first, which is a much better music he's playing. I mean, that's good music, don't get me wrong. King Diamond's another guy that still survives and gets out and plays and doesn't change his wares for anybody.
That voice, though.
Yeah, it sounds like his balls have gotten a vice.
It sounds like somebody got him by the bottom.
Same with Geddy Lee and Rush, the early days.
Remember that Stan Freberg sing High School, right? You know, what are you doing to that knitting needle? Never mind, just sing it, you know.
Now we know how he gets those high voices. It's the devil. Okay. Okay.
Speaking of sounds, your bass sound it's the trademark,
Yeah,
man.
people keep saying, what effects do you use? And I hate to tell them I don't use any, you know. It depresses the shit out of them, you know. They're out buying 25 pedals and they still haven't got it, you know. You don't need pedals, man, you know. If you got an amplifier that's worth the name, then you can do it on that, you know. Old Marshalls, that's the trick. New Marshalls ain't worth fuck all, you know.
Do you just use 412s?
412s and 415s each stack, and 100 watt JMP Super Bass 2, the old Marshall amp, 70s Marshall amp.
Do you prefer any type of strings, or I know you know your bass?
Just medium gauge, you know.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the new Rickenbacker, have you? Wayne!
Yeah.
Get Tim to bring my bass down here. Yeah?
That'd be great. Yeah, if you could hold that for close. Where do you reside now? In the States or in England?
Los Angeles, yeah.
Los Angeles, yeah. Much better. No, hardly less taxes, craziness of the
Well,
Lord.
it's a lot more fun with the climate there, than it is in England,
And we-
because it's the same climate as here, right, England?
Exactly, yeah. We've heard you really love the rainbow. Everybody always sees you there. And
I know they
spots you.
do, don't they? Although I'm very
Lemmy
often not
sightings.
there, because I'm out the country for 8 months of the year for a start, right? So,
I love Los Angeles. A lot of people think it's plastic. It's who you know and where you go. I mean, it's.
whether a place is good or not depends entirely on who you're with, right?
I was brought up in New Hampshire, and I went to Boston all the time. So all the early Celtics. I knew Aerosmith before they were signed,
Right.
and
They were good. They supported Hawkwind once.
they what?
Aerosmith supported Hawkwind once.
Yeah.
So did Rush.
Really?
Rush supported Hawkwind a few times too.
Really?
And the first tour we ever did of America, Aerosmith, Rush, and Mahogany Rush supported us. All kinds of people.
Did you like playing the Hawkwind music? I mean, it was kind of like an early Pink Floyd ahead of its time. And
Oh, we weren't like Pink Floyd, man. We were like a black fucking nightmare. We used to lock the doors so as people couldn't get out. We had 5 strobes at eye level on the crowd, none on the van. Right. Hey, Mick. Want to be on TV, mate?
What?
Want to be on TV?
how you doing?
He's a good looking one,
What?
He's a good looking one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So he says. Newly woken up. Honk honk. What are you doing?
So,
here?
what keeps Motörhead rolling? Just basically the fans, and nothing's changed. It's
Just the fact that
basically
we want to do it, still.
exactly.
We didn't get sick of it yet.
And fuck the record companies. Do this certain type of album, or
Fuck
do a
them.
ballad. Yeah.
I mean, it's hardly time to start listening to record companies at this point of the game.
Oh yeah.
25 years in.
Yeah. Especially with the year too. And anything planned for year 2000? Any special concerts coming up? Anything
Yeah,
you
we're
wanna
going to
do?
explode on stage. A shower of vital parts.
Would that happen like in Spinal Tap that it drummed a couple times? Did you guys like that, or was that kind of a joke?
I thought it was funny. It was pretty close to the truth.
To the reality.
I've seen people with that, the cheese doesn't fit the bread. I've seen
Oh, yeah.
people like that.
But
They got up to 11.
yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't it just be easier to make the 10 louder and just have 10?
That is how guitar
They got to
player
11.
is. That's how a guitar player is.
That's
for
how
sure.
ours is.
And I'm sure that people have, they're supposed to come out of those like eggs or those things, and it gets stuck in them.
I know,
really.
yeah.
Finally, when he opens it, it's the end of the song, and then they get lost in the basement, like these old buildings, like all
I
these
know,
little
it's
things.
perfect. I mean, we've been in a place like that. Where was it? St. Louis, I think, where we had to go onto the stage and then into
Pink
the cellars.
Palace.
Pink Palace,
In Essen.
Hamburg, yeah.
Essen.
Right.
We got lost there.
Fucking incredible. We come off stage, man, we were in the kitchen, right? We came up in the kitchen in 2 different places and we couldn't recognize it. We went back down again.
The dressing room is on the other side of the hall theater. And you have to go down and underneath the actual floor where.
And the Germans are
It's
great
a big
diggers,
place.
I mean, there's about 30 different corridors, right? It's like a labyrinth.
Amazing.
Came across the Minotaur twice.
Exactly. You guys like to ride a lot of bikes on your spare time? You ride?
Never
you don't
ride bikes.
Just,
I do once.
do you?
Death traps, yeah.
They can be. Yeah, I've had a lot of friends wipe out on them, but.
People drive right over them, don't see them.
In these day and age, I mean, you don't even want to like cut somebody off and then give them the finger to them. I mean, boom, Oh yeah, these truck drivers that you hear stories about them now. These kids cut them off and think it's funny, and then they chase them down and shoot through their window. They did that up here, God, what are they thinking? Anyway, well, that's just about it. What I was going to ask you is a couple more things. Is like, is the tour going to last a long time this year, pretty much, or is it a
We're
world
just
tour?
touring this whole month and then we go to Germany. We're doing festivals out of Germany, but we're in Germany recording for the next album.
Those have to be fun, the outside big festivals, I mean, more than a small club. I mean, sometimes you're lost, like in the crowd, and if you play
They
during-
both have their own attractions, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't get a good sound on stage on a festival usually, but it's the event, which is all right.
it's the, the crowd that you
It's
get
the
that
whole
many
thing.
more Motörhead fans, coming
Yeah.
to you. And, it's cool that you got the new bands, like the skateboard bands, like Heatbreed and Dropkick Murphys opening for you, because that's going to bring the younger kids in and listen to Motörhead. If
We
their uncles
got a
didn't
lot of
already
young
play-
kids anyway, actually,
Do you?
come along, yeah.
So you got an all-age audience pretty much these days.
These people listen to me. I seem to bring my bass down, and of course nothing's happening.
And you see fans older than us, probably, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Probably
Not
60s,
much older
60s.
than you, no.
Well, I don't feel like the big 50, but
I know, you never do, it's funny, isn't it? You still think, what are you talking about, I'm 24.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of new generation coming around last couple of years. Oh, yeah.
Well, I've seen your previous.
Custom bass, or will that be a model they're
They
gonna?
say they're going to produce it for public consumption, but they haven't yet. It should say Rickenbastard up here, but they haven't got around to it. What do you think? Nice, eh?
Yeah,
Very
that is
nice.
How did you have that style so it's different than other basses? Just basically gold pickups and the sound that you had. See, I'm not a big guitar.
Well,
fan
these
as
are
far
the
as-
new Rickenbacker pickups, and this one's uneven, I might add.
What do you use, about 4 basses when you play? Different ones or about the same?
But
Rickenbacker?
I've just got 2.
When I've had Rickenbackers, the pickups are squeal like
Not these.
shit.
These are great. They finally made a good pickup. You always had to change the pickups on Rickenbackers anyway, you know. I mean, I used to put Bartolini's on them, and I had a Gibson Thunderbird pickup on one of them. Okay, so this is Tim, my guitar person.
Yeah. I was gonna put some
Although
film
he
in.
was actually a guy.
I was gonna put some.
Person shit is very weird.
Yeah.
Lemmy, I was gonna ask
Can't
if I
tell
could-
if it's a man or a woman, but fuck's sake.
I was gonna see if I could put some film in and get a shot of you with the guitar in the magazine, if that's okay with you. Give me about a minute and I'll load this thing. It's a point and shoot, it's quick.
It's supposed to be quick, huh?
Yeah, these things are quick.
Would you mind saying something again? Like, hi Portland, I'm Lemmy, and you're watching Silver Star Video Magazine. Great.
Hello, Portland. You're watching the Silver Star video for whatever reason you can think of, and I'm Lemmy, and I'm stuck here in this room with this guitar, and I'm going to go up there soon and hit it really, really hard. And that's about the story, really. Aloha, vaya con Dios.
Great, okay, thank you.
Can you get this bass in?
You got the thing in front of, you had the cord in front of the lens.
Yeah, I had it hanging over.
No, it was right in front of the lens.
Oh, was?
So you get a really good shot of a piece of black cord there.
No,
Adds depth.
that's depth. No, I mean,
It's age, you know. Age creeping up
Yeah.
on the...
we all have that problem, yeah. Let me get one with the magazine, if that's great, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah, I'm worried about losing my hair.
Too like.
Yeah, that's great.
That was voluntary anyway, wasn't it?
Yep.
You can keep that if you
I
like.
could be a bald guy with long hair or a bald guy. So,
Or a long-haired bald guy.
yeah. This way I don't have to buy shampoo.
That's true. You have to buy more razor blades.
Yeah.
So anyways, that should have
Probably
been a
evens
co-head.
out.
That should have been a co-headliner last time with Wasp. I thought, you guys. Are
We were
fired.
co-headliner.
Oh, you were.
Yeah, but they had to play last every night because it took so long to clean up the shit they made on stage.
Oh, they still went back to the bloody shit and.
Yeah, and bursting pillows open with a sword, which I thought was really, He-Man-like. Feathers everywhere.
The opening band was kind of. They've played here a lot.
They're great, the
Important
Important Sea Snakes, yeah.
They're funny guys. They're not afraid to get out and do crazy
The
shit.
Important Sea Snakes, anyway.
Yeah, that's great.
I thought they were great, yeah. I thought they were the best thing on the bill, actually.
Exactly. So, okay, if I get a picture with you, because I know
Yeah.
probably later you'll be busy. When you guys want to get one?
There you go, Tim, thank you.
Maybe.
It is pretty, that now.
Yeah, he can get one.
Yeah, I could live my whole life without Wasp.
Yeah, really.
Let me see if you can. Did you get a picture of us? Sure. Great, that's ready to shoot. You just hit the red button.
Hit the red button.
That blonde guitar guy was pretty cool. What was his name? Chris Holmes?
Chris Holmes, right? Oh, the rest of the Wasp were all right. It was just Blackie.
Yeah.
Give him the 50-year-old thing.
Thank you very much. Let me thank your own company. Everything goes through him. No
Right.
Tower Records. No.
Right.
Everything's the Michael Schenker company now. You got to order everything through him, which I don't blame him because he said things have gone rotten in the past.
Just
a lot.
robbery.
Yeah. Well, when you're young like
And they
that.
steal all your money. I wouldn't mind if they just stole half of it.
Yeah.
Even 2/3 of it. Let you keep some, but they don't. They want it all.
Isn't that what happened to Jimmy and Janice? They get them so drugged up, they just say, okay,
Didn't
here's
know what he
enough
was
money.
signing.
Yeah. They probably do it when they're really hammered and,
Followed through on what you've been asking me for years to put the whole interview up, and so it's there, and that's how it happened in that day. This is not Walter Cronkite. So I had a great day, and after the show, right after we were in there, we Lemmy pulled his bass out, and Mickey D said, he's a bass player. He's a bass player and singer. He is in a band with Dean, and he knew Dean from doing sonar clinics. And he said, "Oh, you're a bass player?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Check it out." And I played his bass, and then he said, "Let's go plug it in." And we went to the sound check, and there's another video right after this that is a bit of the sound check. So you're welcome. I will see you later. I'm Matt McCourt for US Metal TV. Good night.